System presents Telephone Time.
Telephone Time with Dr. Frank Baxter.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? Have you two ever had the strange experience of going into a room new to you with a sudden feeling that you'd been there before and that you recognize every bit of furniture, every picture? This is a familiar experience, so common that it has a name, déjà vu. It's one of the curious things that happen to people for which there's no very easy explanation, and there are many such things. Now, this strange story that we're about to tell you was first written down by a distinguished American of the 19th century, Robert Dale Owen. He was a writer, a political thinker, a congressman, and served as United States Minister abroad. And other people have recounted this story, too. It took place on the bark Vestris. Robert Norwich, master, 16 days out of Plymouth, England, bound west across the Atlantic for Boston in the spring of the year 1828. This is the way the tale runs, and we call it the Vestris.
Music play. I'm off for the morning train across the raging main. I'm off to my love with a boxing glove 10,000 miles away.
Morning, Mrs. Norris. It's nice to see you on deck again.
Feeling better, my dear?
I was just saying to the captain how lucky the weather has been for your first voyage. It is not often we get it as good as this, ma'am.
We're going to plot our position, Mary. Come and see how much closer you are to those cousins of yours in Boston.
It is a happy ship you're on, ma'am. And 'tis no wonder, with such fine sailing as we've had.
That's where we are, and very good, too. Come over here, Mary. Come on, lass. That's our position. Don't you think we've come a long way in 16 days?
There's still a long way to go.
Yes, indeed, ma'am. But at the rate we've been going, it won't be long before we get there. 8 bells already. Excuse me, ma'am.
I'll leave the course for the next watch, and I'll be ready for my dinner. 49 degrees, 37 minutes north latitude, 35 degrees, 13 minutes, 20 seconds west longitude. Come 3 points south. There. Now I'm ready for my dinner. I'm famished. Oh, Mary, many's the time I've wished you on board my ship with me. And here you are at last. You brought good luck with you, lass. Never have I known such winds. What is it, Mary?
It is nothing.
It's foolish to say it's nothing. Is it some pain you have?
I tell you, it is nothing.
You didn't eat your dinner again tonight. For days you haven't eaten enough to keep a bird alive. It's not like you to be like this, Mary.
Like what?
For days I haven't seen you smile. You seem lost in some melancholy world of your own. Are you sure you're not sickening for something?
Would I not say so if I were?
And if it's not a pain in your body, it must be a pain in your mind. You're hiding something from me. You've never done that before, Mary. Is it the sea?
I hate it.
Aye, it does affect people that way sometimes, till they get used to it. The monotony of seeing nothing but water.
No, it's not that. It's something deep down. The cruelty.
Oh, come now. There's no more cruelty in the sea than there is in the land, with its storms and its fires. I'll tell you something about the sea lass. When she takes life, she does so a lot more mercifully than does the land.
It's the voices that come from it.
Voices?
Day after day. Even in my dreams, I hear them.
Saying what?
I don't know. I don't know. They seem to threaten me with something.
Ach, you're being fanciful.
That's what I tried to tell myself. They'd grow louder every hour, as if the threat were coming nearer. It's cold in here. Where's my shawl?
The sea's getting on your nerves. It did on mine. It'll pass.
I must have left it in the chart room this morning.
You talk about getting your sea legs. Getting your sea mind is much more difficult sometimes. Here, Mr. Lloyd.
I heard her cry out, sir, and came in and found her like this.
All right, Mary. You're all right now, lass. What happened, Mary?
Someone was in here.
Who? Who was in here?
A man. A stranger.
All right, back to work. Must have been your fancy, man. There's nobody there.
All right, Mary. You're all right now. Come on, come with me.
We can get out of here.
Tall and thin.
But there was no one there.
He wore a jacket with a hood over his head. And when he turned and looked at me, his face was like that of death. His eyes were full of suffering. He tried to say something to me.
'Twas but your fancy, lass. Come now. Take a sip more of this.
I saw him as plainly as I see you. Why would I lie to you?
Who's there?
Mr. Lloyd, sir.
Oh, come in, Mr. Lloyd. Help me persuade my wife that there was no one in the chart.
Why do you keep saying there was no one there when I say I saw him? He was writing on that slate. Is there nothing on it? Well, is there writing on it? Steer northwest. not your handwriting, Robert.
No.
Is it yours, Mr. Lloyd?
No, ma'am, it is not.
Or one of the men's?
One of the men write like that, why, most of them can't write at all, ma'am.
Are you so sure now that it was just my fancy?
If there was someone in there, he must have slipped out before you got to Mrs. Norwich.
A stowaway, sir? I'll soon find out.
Aye. Come now, my dear. You take a rest. We'll get to the bottom of this.